Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable, and today we have Debbie Gould with us. Hey, how you doing?
Hey Doug, so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm honored to have you on. So, yeah, you're an amazing woman from what I've read about you.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I like to keep it busy.
Yep, and it looks like you are busy considering that you're the United World Director and you run your own podcast and you're a postal service carrier as well.
That's correct. It's called being a responsible single parent. They're my main job, my main concern, and, actually today I opened up a mutual fund in their names, and so that when they get older, they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah, that's really incredible. I'm glad to hear that. So you're a single parent then?
I am. I am a single parent of two beautiful kids, and that's why I do everything that I do.
You're not technically a message woman, you're a delivery woman.
I am a delivery woman in all aspects, with the mail and with also with my message with Your Unique Sparkle, which is my podcast, and it's also my workshops, and that's where I help empowered women to help empower other women. I think it's strong when we, don't stand alone, but when we stand and back each other up, it makes us all stronger women.
I'm really glad that you're taking a stand for women because, that they have a lot of talents that I respect, Well,
thank you. And as with Your Unique Sparkle, I believe that everyone has a special, unique sparkle about them. And maybe they don't even know what it is yet. And they're trying to find that sparkle. Through our stages of life, I'm 53. I've been through a lot, as everybody has. And when we listen to everybody's stories, we realize that, oh my gosh, you went through that, and here I thought my life was so horrible, or I went through something so bad. And then you hear somebody else, and it just goes, wow. And look how she overcame that. Because, it's not how we, we all fall. But it's how we pick ourselves up and keep going with life, right? That makes our character, and it shows who we really are.
Yeah, exactly. And I have those same feelings when I run Relentless and Unstoppable, which we're on right now with Andy McPhee,
Absolutely.
I've had a lot of guests come on sharing about their tragic and difficult circumstances, and sometimes I just think to myself, man, I thought school was bad,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell a lot of people, as a mail carrier, I was held up at gunpoint. 2 years later, I was maced. And they're like, Debbie, why do you still do it? And, I've got these two beautiful kids at home, and they're looking at me. They're looking to see, am I going to, how do I react to situations? Am I strong? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to show them by example of what we do. And their mom, they do not know their mom is a weakling, basically. You know what I mean? It's like God still has a purpose for me here.
He does.
That's right.
Yeah, he does have a purpose, and there's no doubt in my mind that God exists, because very recently something happened. Do you want to hear about it?
I would love to. And, and it doesn't matter if you want to call the universe or you pray to a Buddha, but some kind of higher power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I totally believe in that. Absolutely.
I believe in it too, but yeah. First of all, when I was younger, and you'd have to look back at previous interviews I did to get the full story, and I can share it with you some other time when it's not so time is short, but when I was 5 to 6 years old, I got lost in the wilderness and was saved by an angel. And then just recently, however, I was at a grocery store picking up my meals for the week, and guess what happened?
What?
I saw a homeless person that was starving and incredibly weak, in a wheelchair, holding up a sign saying, "Have you ever been this hungry?" And the first thing I did was go back into the store and pick him up some oranges and a grapefruit, and I also teamed up with another woman named Crystal to buy the guy dinner, being good Samaritans,
Yes, absolutely.
And
because I believe everything goes around full circle.
It does, but here's where it gets interesting. After I made sure the guy was in good shape and carried on my merry ways, I was walking back home, and I encountered a guy named Pete out in a park that I was walking through, and he somehow knew my name, even though we had never met. And he said to me, "God is very proud of you, Douglas." And then I thanked him and walked off, and I turn around and there's a few people looking at me wondering, "Who are you talking to?" And I said, "That guy Pete behind me." And they said, "There's no one behind you." And so I turn around and he was gone, and it was a wide open park.
Wow.
And I actually think, based on reflection, I think he could have been Peter from the Bible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I assure you this really happened, and I assure you I'm not crazy.
I know. I have stories as well where I would tell you things, and I told myself, "Debbie, someday you're gonna look at this and you're gonna say, you just imagined that." But I didn't. I know that I didn't. So God was looking after you, and you know what? You were the angel to that man.
I was, and I didn't realize it at the time, and it was just an incredible experience. And you want to hear how the angel looked when the one that saved my life years ago?
Yes.
My story's been the same, and I'm sticking to it, which is when I was in the wilderness and got lost, the angel looked like a flash of light with like a nucleus shaped like a human, and it pointed in a specific direction. And when I went that direction, I was back with the group that I was with.
Oh, wow.
It took 30 minutes of walking, but I caught up to them when I went in that direction. So it was just two incredible experiences. And then I had a spiritual rebirth a few years back. And then last year when I got into an accident, I blacked out and saw like a dark space with like a tunnel or something, a tunnel of light. And at the other end of it was someone that I think looked like God or Jesus or something. And he said to me, "It's not your time yet, Douglas. Enjoy life." And that's when I woke up after the accident.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah, and that's further strengthened my faith,
Well, absolutely. And, it's these stories that need to be shared, not negativity, which a lot of people, it's so funny how the good stories, you don't hear about those as much as you hear about negativity and what's bad in the world and what's going on. And, this person is doing this and that. And, let's talk about the good. But that doesn't, they always say even bad publicity is good publicity, right? Because it's so popular and people, they live off of drama. But I really try to stay away from the drama. I don't know. I really want to do something good in the world.
Yep.
And help others. Yeah.
And you're sure doing that with what you're doing, and I'm doing it with what I'm doing, because I'm all about positivity, In fact, I was described by one of my housemates as obnoxiously upbeat.
Oh, yeah, I've gotten that as well. And, people will look at you and they will be mad that you're not upset all the time because they are in this, negative bubble, and they like to go through life feeling sorry for themselves.
Yeah.
And I say hello to everybody every morning at the post office, and sometimes that just gets on people's nerves.
Yeah, we need more positivity in the world, and it's how people choose to act,
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.